All right, last try. This is my third tempering, and I've made the shim a little bit bigger. So if it doesn't come out this time, I mean, it's almost out. It's barely perceptible. But I don't want any warp. And I've had good luck taking warps out in the past. It's taken me a little while to narrow down exactly where to put the shim, and I think I got it now. Plus I made the shim a little thicker, so I'm like 99% sure this will do the trick. And I'm going home. I'm gonna do a video about how the companies that I have, I've been screwed by handle wood suppliers, not numerous times, but a couple times to make me very leery about trying a new place. I have bought sandpaper from one place and then later found it at another place for, a third less. And belts, buffing pads, jeweler's polishing compound. I mean, I'm going to do a video about all the places that I do business with only because I've been burned so many times. And the places that I do business with now are places that I have learned through trial and error that are trustworthy and dependable, and ship you what you order, and have decent prices. Knife handle wood is one of them, but there's this other place called True Grit. Well, I'll get home and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's the first place, True Grit, and here's they're not hard to find, but there's a lot of other True Grits. There's True Grit weightlifting and all kinds of stuff, and that's truegrit.com, no spaces. And this is their website. And let's see, here's the abrasives. And if I have to shut this off real quick, I'm sort of having a sneezing fit, and I think I'm past it, but we'll see. See, here's what I ordered recently, and they're the only place that I know that has the ceramic. These are ceramic. They do sell aluminum oxide, but the ceramics are what I use. This is 60 grit is what I ordered. I ordered 100 of them. And 120, I ordered 100 of them. And let's see, back to abrasives. Okay, I use a sandpaper, blocks, abrasive sheets. I use Indasa Redline Rhino Wet. There is, here we go. That's aluminum oxide. Is that the red Indasa? Yeah. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Let's just go back up and see if that's the stuff I'm talking about. If not, I'll find it and come back. Yeah, this is it. This is it. And this is all I use. This is a 60 grit. I use, I go down to 180. 120 is the lowest that I use. But I'm sure they have any grit you like. And that's about right, $1 a sheet. That's about what I'm paying for it. Buffing supplies. I mentioned a rake the other day. You definitely want a rake. Buffing wheels. They have etching supplies. I got sharpening supplies. And they have taper. You can turn basically a bench grinder into a buffer. They have buffing compounds. I'll show you what I use. Black coarse. And I use the green. And let's see if they got pink scratchless. White's almost the same as pink scratchless. But let's see. Red. Yeah. I use this stuff. And I use this stuff. Next time I'm going to try the Black Magic. Machine parts. Oh, they do sell buffers. And that was something else I was going to tell you. I have bought one really good buffer and one really cheap buffer. And good buffers, you're wasting your time with the cheap buffers. Now, what I did was buy a very expensive buffer. Are these Baldor? They are Baldor, top of the line. You can't get any better than Baldor right there. So 3/4 horse. A 3/4 horse Baldor would be like a 1 horsepower jet. So this, to me, the 1 horse would be the top of the line for me. And I think you could probably get a 10 or a 12-inch wheel on this. Here's the 3,600 RPM, 3rd horsepower. How much is that? 3 horsepower, my God. Yeah. So, if you're going to buff, spending the money on a good buffer is worth the extra money, because you waste your time trying to get a buffer that you can't bear your work into the wheel. You're just wasting your time. Ovens. Okay, oh, they also heat treat. So I just wanted to tell you that. They sell ovens. And there's the tool steel, tool wrap. And they can heat treat up to 27 inches in length. Then they have knife components. They have handle material. And let me show you that. Oh, they also sell steel. Mosaic pins. I quit buying mosaic pins because they had gotten so ridiculously expensive. And guess what? They are back, 1/4 inch, 12-inch long. And that is what I used to pay for that back before Forged and Fire came along and everybody started making knives. And then mosaic pins went from $28 for 12 inches to $35 for 6 inches. And I just refused to pay that much for mosaic pins. So mosaic pins have come back down to a reasonable price now. And I would not be, what is the term, averse to buying mosaic pins again. But you do, you know, this does have to get added to the cost of making a knife. Although at $28 for 12 inches, the cost is negligible. You probably get maybe 4 knives if you cut them carefully. 4 knives out of, 1 tube if you're using 2 pins each. 3 knives if you're using 3 pins each. Something along that line. So it's not so cost prohibitive that you wouldn't add these if somebody wanted a mosaic pin. Let's see. Where am I? Liners and spacers, handle material. And I talked to, the guy's name is Ryan. He's the owner's son. And what I was trying to do was get an affiliate link because I really like these people. They got good stuff at really good prices. And I talked to them for quite a while. And I gather that they're a smaller company, father, son, and, a couple of employees. And so I decided that an affiliate link would give me, 5, 6, 7% of anything anybody bought. And I decided that I'm just going to start including their link to their website. And I don't want to be an affiliate. They don't actually offer affiliates right now. They're not that big yet. Which is kind of why I like this company, because they're small enough to be concerned about your business. And so I'm not going to be concerned about making a few dollars. But I want people to have access to good companies. Like I said, I've been screwed. I have learned hard lessons about buying crappy stuff that looks good in pictures, and then I get it and it's I'll tell you the last one I bought from somebody on Facebook, Knife Handle Wood. And what he showed 4 pictures of the wood, right? You know, 4 sides. But what the SOB did was he took 4 pictures and repeated one side, because the 4th side was absolute crap and you couldn't use it. I mean, the entire block was unusable because there was a knot that went almost all the way through it. I mean, a void that went almost all the way through it to the side of the block that he was showing pictures of, but not quite. So I got screwed out of $45 plus shipping. And you know, when they get found out, all they do is change their name, come back. So I don't even bother experimenting with knife making components that I don't know are are legit. You know, this is a company I like doing business with, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing, their whole website. They even sell steel. You can buy Damascus, and I won't go through, but there's lots of different patterns you can buy. Adhesives. You can't go wrong with any of that. And anyway, so there's one. Let me go find another company that I do business with. I just found the price for the sandpaper that I use the most of right off the belt is this, $180. That's where I usually start. If I've done a good job of grinding on a belt grinder and I can come off the belt grinder at a good 120, then I start my hand sanding at 180. And I'll tell you what, this is the best price I've ever seen on that grit. So that's what I'm talking about. They're not out to make $1 million off you know, products. They're out to have a fair business and give you a fair shot at being able to afford stuff. Okay, I said I was going to move on. This is still truegrit.com. And here's the last grit before I put it on my buffing wheels. I usually sand, if I do a really good job, I can come off the sanding at 800 and go to the buffer. And same thing, $30. You're just not going to find that price anywhere else. All right, here we go. ArizonaIronwood.com. This is where I buy like 99% of my desert ironwood comes from these people here. And about 50% of the non-desert ironwood that I buy comes from these folks too. I'm just going to give you a quick glance at the wood. And what I like about these is they're absolutely square. You don't have to do any work squaring the wood. So you can go right to drilling holes for your pins, and the work of squaring these blocks is done for you. And the reason I like that is because I have nothing. I don't have a planer. I got a bandsaw, but it leaves, not a bandsaw. I got a bandsaw too, but you can't cut none of this square on a bandsaw. I do have a table saw that I have bought a special thin kerf blade, and kerf is your cut. The cut that you leave in something is called the kerf. And when you buy wood and you have an 1/8 inch or a 3/16 kerf, you've wasted a lot of wood. And what I have now is slightly less than an 1/8 inch kerf. It's a thin blade. It's probably 3/32 of a kerf. Expensive blades. It's all carbide. You can have them resharpened. But still, I don't want to cut wood if I don't have to. So I usually buy handle sets already cut. And if I have to buy, you know, blocks, I will. But cutting it yourself eats up what you could be using for, let's just go up here to 93. I mean, they got wood after wood after wood. And I buy a lot of my wood from these folks. Not all, but when you combine my desert ironwood with all the other stabilized, and that's another thing, it's 100% stabilized, well-made wood. And they don't sell anything that's not 100% perfect. They do have like bargain basement bins, and that's what it is. Let me go back. You know, mistakes. that you can correct. You might be able to get a good handle out of, you know, a mistake. They sell synthetic materials, knife making supplies. They do sell knife blanks. You can buy large quantities of desert ironwood and cut it yourself. And I do have some big blocks of desert ironwood. And so here they are. They sell their mosaic pin in 6-inch lengths, which I don't like 6-inch lengths, and here's why. I cut my pins a little wider than all my handles, and I start with a wide handle, and then I shape it thinner than, you know, what it starts off with. So by the time you cut 3 pins out of a 6-inch piece, you've got maybe 1 piece left over. So if you buy 3 of these, you might get a 3rd knife if you've cut very carefully. And I like buying them in 12-inch lengths. Okay, so that's Arizona Ironwood.com. I do a lot of business with them. This is Jant's Supply, and their website is knifemaking.com. These people sponsor a lot of the knife shows. They show up and sell at a lot of the knife shows. And I do a lot of business with these people, and they're really nice folks. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, I had a subscriber giveaway, and they provided some of the gifts. And I forget what it was, but I met them last year in Ben Wheeler, Texas, at basically it's a knife show in Ben Wheeler, Texas, October 22nd. As a matter of fact, if you are in Texas, Ben Wheeler, October 22nd, there's going to be a knife show. It's outdoor. It's a nice little town. And wait a minute. It's the knife show, but is it also... I can't remember if it's also part of the hog celebration. They have a parade. I can't remember. Well, anyway, October 22nd is the blade show. And one of the guys that is started the blade show there is a Forged in Fire prior contestant, and I believe he came in second. And anyway, these people sponsor a lot of those things, and I get my a lot of my polishing stuff from them. As a matter of fact, I'll show you, all my compound I've bought from them. I buy my wheels from them. I've bought some of my handle material from them. And I am thinking about, these are for sharpening. And I'm thinking about trying something like that. I got to step up my sharpening game. Okay, I buy some of my sanding belts from them. In the past I have. And Norton Blaze, that's good stuff. And I buy my glue, my epoxy from them. Let's see. Where's adhesives? Am I missing it? Abrasives, no. Anyway, this is where I buy my West Systems G-Flex. Good people, nice to talk to on the phone. Get your stuff right out to you without any delay. And they're honest. So there's that. Okay, this is K&G. K&G stands for knife and gun, but they sell lots of handle wood. But here's what they do. They will stabilize your wood, and they're one of the premier stabilizers in the industry. So if you have some nice wood that you want stabilized, you send it to them, they'll stabilize it and send it back to you. They'll dye it if you want. the price for stabilizing gets lower and lower as you send them larger and larger quantities. And they also sell abrasives, adhesives, bandsaw blades, which is something I need to remember. Belts. And that's another thing. I have a 2x42, and not just everybody sells those 2x42s. They sell some pre-made blades. They sell pins. I don't know if they sell mosaic pins. They sell bar stock for guards. They sell buffs. I use the 8-inch. So K&G is a good company, and let's see. Let me find another guy that I buy most of my wood for. Not most. About 50% of my stabilized non-desert ironwood comes from this fella I'm fixing to show you. Knifewood.com. Knife-wood.com. The guy who owns this is a Russian fella from Tula, which is south of Moscow. Perfect. Every piece of wood I've got from him has been perfect. And it does take a little while to get here. And there was a little bit of a difficulty paying him, and he had a little difficulty shipping at first when the thing with Ukraine first broke out. And, you know, I don't care where you stand on Ukraine-Russia war. We have been in our own wars here and there. But you and I both know that a guy with a family and a small business has no control over what his government does, just like you and I have no control over where we send our soldiers. So not buying something from a guy like this just because his government is at war with a country you may favor, you're not hurting anybody but small people who have no control over the government any more than you and I do. So there are people who, and I encountered it on Facebook page, I was sharing this. I actually showed a picture of about 10 or 20, about 20 pieces of wood I had just got from Oleg. And you'd not believe the brain dead CNN, MSNBC types that are convinced that what the news tells them is the truth and they should feel this way, and that's the way they're going to feel because the news told them to feel like that. And, you know, what can you say to those people? They're not smart enough to do any kind of thinking or research on their own, so you don't bother with them. This guy, his whole family works there. You know, they help in shipping, and he goes far distances to get wood, chop it, dry it, size it, dye it, clean it up, and when it comes to you, it's perfect. And I like doing business with him, and let me tell you, the prices, even with shipping, which is negligible, can't be beat. I've not found anywhere in this country that can match his prices. And the shipping, you would think shipping from Russia to here would be exorbitant, but it's minuscule. It's like $12. I mean, just the same kind of shipping fee you'd pay if you bought something from Arizona Ironwood. $14, $44, $45, $26, and I do buy a lot of the $26 and $30 woods. So that's it. His name is Oleg Bashkovich from Tula, Russia. It has taken me as little as 2 weeks to get my wood and as much as 2 months. But I keep enough wood on hand that I can wait a couple of months. If it takes that long, it's fine. But I've ordered a lot from him many different times, and I have never failed to get my order. And it comes really well packaged. I mean, he packages it for the long haul. So when you get it, you're going to have to do some work to unpackage it. Let me tell you, he's serious about packaging it well. All right, this is Eastwood. Eastwood is mostly for auto body mechanics and stuff like that, but they sell a lot of stuff that a knife maker would use. This here, this jet 2x42, this is exactly what I use to make my knives. Now, I have taken the disc off it. I've taken this table off it. This table I've modified, and they have a cover on the right side that I've just completely removed. But it's still at a reasonable price, and this Jet 2x42 has made hundreds of knives and still going strong. So, you know, it did require some modification, but at that price, I could afford it. And let's see what else. I'm going to show you the website. There's, see this Jet 6x48? That's what I have. Look at the price. That is not what I paid. I bought it used, but I only gave $150 for it. And that was in Longview. And I was looking at Facebook Marketplace, and it showed up. And within minutes, I was on the phone with him. And within minutes, I was in the truck headed his way to go pick it up. So here's another 2x42. $283. Anyway, Eastwood is where I bought a lot of my stuff. Let's see, painting accessories. They sell buffing pads. They sell polishing compounds. They sell auto parts. They sell tools. So that's them. Eastwood.com. Okay, unless I can think of anything that I haven't already told you about, this is probably going to be the last one. If it's not, I didn't think about it till later. So my synthetic, this is where I get it. This is the guy's Etsy shop, Furniture Your Way, Etsy. And this is where I buy my synthetic. And it's a good price, and he's very quick to ship. So, there you go. Oh, shut up and leave me alone. I hate it when they cover stuff up. And that's one of the reasons I almost didn't include Eastwood, because it absolutely bugs the snot out of me when they cover your whole page up with offers, and you gotta look for the button to decline the offer. So you decline it, and then you go to another page, and bam, there's that covering up the whole. It's just really freaking aggravating, to the point where I almost don't want to do business with them. And businesses, you really ought to take that into account. There's people who get, you know, I'm old, and I get aggravated and real easy with this technology. And when you're constantly covering up my page with BS that I don't want to give you my email address for 10% off. So just leave me alone. If I click off it once, that means I'm not interested. And every page I go to, they throw that cover page up there where you got to hit the decline or find a little white X to get out of it. Anyway, this is, you know, I do have an Etsy. Let's see here. But I don't sell anything there. And this is my very first, back then I called it a door cheat. I don't make them anymore. And I know who bought this. My friend Rob over in Bossier City. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching.